What's good, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. As you can tell from the title of the video, today we're talking about, I'm talking about my experiences with regards to different work cultures that I've experienced throughout my career as a software engineer. Sure. One thing I can tell you, right, before I start going on about my story times is that work culture is king. You know how the like cash is king, work culture is king. It's what makes or breaks your work experience, in that, particular workplace, and your you should pay close attention. I think it's very important to know yourself. Obviously, when you're starting out, you're all about getting a head start with your or starting out in your tech career, and you don't care for a lot of things, but you should care about culture. It's very important. Therefore, it's very good for you to know um, who you are, not entirely, obviously, but like sort of know what it is that you like, align your personality and who you are um, with the type of workplace that you're going to work at. If you know you're a quiet person, you don't like interacting with people, I'm not saying it's a good personality to have, but guys, we're not judging anybody here. You're allowed to be who you want to be, and or if that's just you and you're fine with it, you're happy, it's okay, maybe go for a company that does not prioritize socializing so that you don't feel like you're forced to do things that you don't feel comfortable in doing, or you feel like they're not you. Or if the culture of that place is about teamwork and when you don't like working in a team, so rather look for a company that allows you to not be a team player. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. That's who you are. It's cool. Moving right along. Also, you knowing the type of person you are and you get a job where the team culture is all about socializing and team player or team oriented, what. So you're going to make other people's lives miserable because when you need money, please relax. Okay, so when I started out, I was one of those people who didn't know what it is that they wanted, because I think initially I'd always believed that work is just work. You're there to get your mullah, you're there to pretty much gain experience, contribute, obviously. Well, that's what it's mainly you contributing. I didn't think that the type of person that I am really had to match, the company culture. So here it goes. So the first company was really did have a culture. Um, Number one, there was, the Friday socials where there were drinks, so you get to chill, talk to people, and whatnot. There was like company breakfasts, there was company lunches, there was braais, or like little mini celebrations that we would have, and other things. So it was not like a boring place where you just stay and whatever. um the people there was really really nice, the colleagues, everyone was willing to help and whatnot, so it was really like a nice place in that sense. But I don't think they were really really nice about it, about the whole socializing thing. I think socials only had to happen on Fridays by the look of things, because I remember when I joined a new team, and then there was a friend of mine, but we're not really friends at the time. So because Sana, I'm a whistle. I'm a whistle. When you play with, I don't know, who's the most controversial footballer, and the referee will always have to blow the whistle. I'm that whistle that is blown all the time, so I can talk for days. So since I was new, during the performance review, they told her that, oh, the girls talk a lot. So me and her, basically. And then, okay, well, they didn't mention that to me, but, you know, whatever. So I was like, hey, well, guys, so now I must be quiet at work. It was giving, oh, guys, let's write a list of them. Somebody write a list of noisemakers. That made me really like, um, not really like, but uncomfortable. You know, it felt like I was being watched that, hey, she talks a lot or whatever. But yeah, I was just like, hey, okay. And, you know, well, it didn't stop me from talking. I mean, yeah, and, you know, there were year-end functions and all the other nice things, right? But I think in like it lagged in other places, and then it made it up, you know, for some parts. So it was, you know, there was a culture and there was things that were going on. So it wasn't like that horrible after all. So yeah, company number 2. Should I say the lack of it? You know, I think, just a quick disclaimer, it was a good company. Well, the people were really good. The people were really friendly, and I don't think at any point I felt otherwise. You know, the people were friendly, the people were kind, but Carl Chandasi, siempre sisebenza. Yeah, siempre sisebenza for the sake of the salary. Salary, salary, salary. Um, sure. Even there, I didn't do my research on in terms of culture and whatnot. I didn't do my research. Um, I just went in there blindly. Him does it. I judge myself, but not even my. It was a great experience working there, so I don't take that for granted. But in terms of culture, I will. Okay, the culture was friendly, you know, friendliness. People were super friendly, but I don't think it's something that they preach, you know, because I'm like, amongst a lot of things, a culture is something that you need to preach so that people do know about it. You can't rely on people to naturally be friendly. That is a dangerous game. But that's besides the point. So, given the fact that we're working from home, guys, it seems like I'm a little bit of a social butterfly, even though I describe myself as an introvert, but I enjoy having conversations, you know, with people and talking to people, having chats, jokes, and whatnot. But in that company, they were like, the best we can give you is friendly people, right? What can we say? So, given the fact that we were working from home 100%, so we probably went to the office once a month, but that was later on. But for the most part, we were working from home. And I'm thinking, if you're working from home, I think you should overcompensate yourself in social events. But that wasn't happening. They were like, just smile at each other. Why do you want us to overcompensate? Fine. The first incident that I remember. Okay, first of all, when we had the Heritage Day, we didn't celebrate that. Did we? I don't think we did. We didn't. In December, there was the year-end function that was supposed to happen. Guys, during that time, the country was going through a lot, you know, financially. It was a time where fuel had gone up from 15 rands to 21 rands. So we still shook as a country. Um, it was even 18 bucks. It was probably 21 rands, I think. And then they were like, guys, come to the office for the year-end function. Janice and office, guys, I'd like to think that, there was a fair amount of people. We could have done something like team building or something like that. But it was just like crazy stuff. But hey, they were like, come to the office, grab a okay. They were like, come grab a Burvo sort of come grab a Burvo. A Burvo sort of. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna travel 65 kilometers to the office, 65 kilometers back for a Burvo sort of. Oh my god, I can literally get myself a Burvo if I want. I didn't go because I was mad. I was a little bit mad. I was like, no. Imagine spending 200 rands on petrol for a burgos roll. I was like, well, I didn't go. And then the following year, that's how much nothing was happening. And then the following year, I remember, which was last year, during the, what's this thing? Heritage. So that's the only time we did something. It was a little braai. Guys, oh god, it was a bribe. And then, so imagine we had the drinks, like cold drinks, in 2-liter bottles. Guys, can't we get cans? Like, it's during COVID, right? Why are we sharing? Why are we gonna be touching the lead? Yo, guys, it was bad. And I was just like, one of the things that we're missing is literally like the social part of it, because I'm just like, it would be great since we're working from home. Let's do something. We can't always be about work and whatnot. Um, so it was boring. If I, you know, in simple, plain statement or whatever, it was just boring. If I have to say so myself, the people were friendly, but it was no. Also given the fact that my um, my manager stayed in a different province, to get like a couple of tickets or get a ticket, right? Maybe every 4 months to go and be on the other side, and then, or they also come this side for like a week, and then we get to work together. Um, you know, that could have counted for something, but none of that happened. I had only met him physically once because he was here for some conference, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, and then that was it. So that for me was just like, hey, guys. Yeah, so it was like they're off. But it was a great place. Not great, but it was a cool place. Again, at number 3, where I am right about now. Sure, guys. One thing I can tell you is that I hate waking up okay, let me not hate. Guys, hate is a strong word. I struggle, right, in the morning, right? So for me, okay, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I usually am someone who struggles in the morning. So I'm one of those people who are very much productive in the early AMs, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Those are my times. Also, I'm a night owl. I struggle sleeping. You would know this. Now, let me see, what time is it? The time is 12:53 a.m. So it's almost 1 a.m. So these are my productive um, times. So I struggle getting up in the morning. I don't really like it that much, but I go to the office almost every day. You know why? Because of the culture. Um, one of the important you know pointers, or one of the culture you know things, whatever, I don't know how to explain it, is basically socializing and networking with people. And that's supposed to be, I think, it's the only one job in my entire life where I had literally gone through and made a conscious decision to be part of, you know, um, where I did extensive research just to see if it really aligns. Because I never knew that, companies that do match your personality did exist. I thought it's all about getting paid. But, you know, as somebody who is not a morning person, I go to the office a lot. I enjoy it. Like, it's one of those things where you don't need to know anybody. You don't need to have a friend in order for you to want to go to the office. It's one of those things where you could just be walking and you might meet someone and have a conversation with. So there's so much to be learned from, other people. So that for me stood out. And I got to, it's a culture that is, very vocal. And the, culture is one of those things that are preached in the company, and people live the culture, and that for me was just like, wow, I love it here, right? Amongst other things, there's so many activities to participate in. The other time, I participated in we're, doing stuff for charity. I got involved into some paintings. Um, there's so much networking that does happen. Um, so that for me was just like, I got to discover that painting is something that I think I once attempted to paint. I have a young painting that I did back home, and then I was sort of like taken back to, you know, um, realizing how much I enjoy painting. From that moment where I was told that I talk a lot or whatnot, even though I did my job very well. Um, but it is what it is. To a place where it's encouraged, to have conversations. So that for me, it felt like, wow, I found my tribe. you know, um, for as much as this, amongst other things, but that for me stood out, and I was pretty much, happy till this day. I go to the office almost every day, because that's what it is, There's other things to do within the organization. Um, you just pick things that resonate with you, things that you feel are going to be most enjoyable to you. Um, so, you know, the there's a lot of um, the socials, which drinks and food and whatnot. So those really are the staples. So that's why I don't even talk about. So the main highlight is the socializing part of it and networking. So that for me has been the highlight so far, and meeting friendly people to talk to and learn from and whatnot. So yes, guys, if you want to share your guys' cultures or cultures that you've experienced, please do share them down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye.